In a small picturesque village nestled in a valley, the first snow of the winter had fallen overnight, coating every rooftop and tree in a fluffy white blanket. As the sun rose, the village was a kaleidoscope of twinkling lights draped across the streets, reflecting off the snow and creating a magical glow. The villagers had spent the previous evening hanging colorful lanterns and festive ornaments, and now their hard work was rewarded with a scene straight out of a fairy tale. Children dressed in cozy hats and scarves tumbled out of their homes, their eyes wide with excitement. They hopped eagerly through the crisp, freshly fallen snow, leaving tiny footprints as they ran to join their friends. "Let's make the biggest snowman in the village," shouted Rosie, a cheerful girl with sparkling blue eyes behind her woolly hat. Her friends nodded eagerly, their breath visible in the chilly air as they laughed and chatted. Soon, their mittened hands were busily shaping giant snowballs, stacking them high on the village square. One by one, other children joined in until a snowman taller than some of the cottages began to take shape. As the masterpiece came together, others had started a friendly snowball fight, dividing into two teams led by the fearless brothers Jake and Alex. Squeals and laughter echoed through the streets as snowballs soared through the air. Even the adults couldn't help but smile as they watched from their porches, reminiscing about their own childhood days. Just as the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting a golden hue across the snow, the village elder blew a silver whistle, signaling it was time for hot cocoa at the community hall. The children cheered and raced each other inside, where cups of steaming cocoa topped with marshmallows awaited them. As they sipped their drinks, rosy-cheeked and warm, the village buzzed with talk of the upcoming holiday festival. The snowman stood proudly outside, a testament to the day's creative energy. The magical village, with children's laughter filling the air and colorful lights twinkling all around, was a place where winter dreams truly came to life. In the cozy little town of Maryville, there was a special tradition that brought joy to every heart. Every December, the villagers would gather in the town square to celebrate the lighting of the grand Christmas tree. The tree stood tall and majestic, decked in strings of twinkling lights, and adorned with ornaments crafted by the tiny hands of every child in the village. This year, the honor of lighting the tree was given to a spirited little girl named Lily. With curly red hair and eyes full of mischief, Lily bubbled with excitement as the evening approached. She clutched a golden star in her hands, the finishing touch for the tree, crafted by her grandpa Joe, the finest carpenter in Maryville. As the clock struck 6, the square filled with the chatter and laughter of the townspeople, each bundled warmly against the crisp winter air. Children played tag around the waiting tree, while adults sipped on hot cocoa, sharing stories of Christmases past. Lily stood beside the tree, her heart pounding in rhythm with the jingle of distant sleigh bells. She was feeling nervous, but equally thrilled for the moment she'd been so eagerly awaiting. "Are you ready, young miss?" asked the mayor, a jolly man with a beard as white as snow and a voice like a merry drum. Lily nodded, and everyone hushed. The mayor's voice boomed across the square. "Let us light the tree and bring joy to every corner of Maryville." With every eye on her, Lily carefully placed the golden star atop the tree. Then, with a little tremor of her hand, she flipped the switch concealed in the star. In an instant, the tree burst into a glorious spectacle of winking lights, dazzling everyone with its beauty. A cheer erupted from the crowd, and children jumped up and down in glee. The air was filled with music as the town band played a lively carol, and everyone joined in with the chorus. As the night progressed, the tree stood like a beacon of warmth, its lights reflecting in the eyes of every onlooker. It was a magical evening, one that marks the true spirit of togetherness and celebration. Lily's heart swelled with pride as she watched the festivities unfold, knowing that she had played a part in this wondrous event. And so, The tale of the Christmas tree lighting in Maryville added another golden chapter to its beloved tradition, with laughter and joy spreading through the chill of the night. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between snow-capped mountains, the merry sounds of the festive season were in full swing. The village was called Littlewood, a place where everyone knew each other and every season was celebrated with joy. Inside cozy homes, fireplaces crackled warmly. Families busied themselves with preparing for the most magical time of the year. The Johnson family, for example, were hanging twinkling ornaments on their tree. Little Timmy, with his cherub-like cheeks rosy from excitement, carefully placed the star on top, giggling each time his dad lifted him to reach. Nearby, the Thompsons were wrapping gifts. Lucy and her brother Sam were experts at finding the perfect gift for their friends, like the new set of paints for their art-loving friend Ella. As they wrapped, they secretly hoped for a surprise of their own under the tree. Across the way, the Arroyo home was filled with the delightful aroma of chocolate and cinnamon as the kids helped bake holiday cookies. Cinnamon rolls, gooey chocolate chip cookies, and honey-spiced gingerbread men lined the cooling racks. Sweet laughter mingled with the scent, making it an irresistible invitation for their neighbors to drop by just to taste one. At the heart of all this hustle and bustle was the spirit of giving, sharing, and love that brought everyone together. As the sun set, casting a golden hue over the snow-covered roofs, a gentle hush fell over Littlewood. One by one, cozy homes lit up with fairy lights twinkling like stars. Children eagerly placed their wishes on paper, believing in the magic that the morning would bring. And as the fireplaces continued to crackle, an omnipresent warmth was felt by everyone in the village. That night, Littlewood was wrapped in a blanket of peace and joy as families snuggled together, excitedly dreaming of the surprises, the laughter, and the togetherness the morning promised. Indeed, Littlewood was ready for the wonders of a beautiful festive day. And somewhere, far off in the snow-kissed sky, a distant sleigh could just be heard. Ho, ho, ho! In the heart of Evergreen Town, a group of lively children buzzed with excitement as the first snowflakes dusted their small village. Winter had finally arrived, and with it came their most beloved tradition, writing letters to Santa Claus. Each child carried the magical glow of hope and wonder, and their eyes sparkled like the twinkling Christmas lights that adorned their homes. The youngest of them, little Lucy, perched on her tiptoes as she placed her letter snugly inside her well-worn stocking. Her brother Jacob, who thought himself far too grown up for believing in magic, secretly joined the excitement by slipping his own letter beneath the towering Christmas tree. Their friend Oliver, known as the prankster of the group, had mischievously written his letter backward. As the sun set, the children gathered on Lucy's porch, their steaming mugs of cocoa warming their chilly fingers. They shared tales of past Christmas mornings, each more wondrous than the last. "I hope Santa brings me a scooter this year," Jacob announced with shy enthusiasm. "Oh, I'd adore a new doll," Lucy added dreamily, her mind filled with visions of a dollhouse bustling with life. Oliver, with a grin as wide as the Cheshire Cat's, teased, "I asked for a train set, a paint set, and a magic set. If Santa reads it right, I'll have my own magical train painting adventures." The children's laughter rang through the twilight as the gentle flurry of snowflakes seemed to dance along with their merriment. That evening, cozy in their beds, the children dreamed of Santa soaring through the night sky in his sleigh, his sack full of gifts and his heart full of love. They imagined him reading their letters with care, his eyes twinkling as he decided on the perfect surprises for the morning. When Christmas morning finally dawned, the children rushed to their stockings and tree with bright eyes and hopeful hearts. As wrapping paper flew and laughter filled the halls, they realized the true gift of their letters, the magical anticipation that fueled their imaginations and kindness they shared with one another. For in their hearts, They understood that the spirit of Christmas was not just about the gifts themselves, but the joy of dreaming together. Once upon a time in a small snowy town named Whimsyville, there was a bustling marketplace known far and wide for its magical charm, especially during the holiday season. The townsfolk called it Frosty's Festive Market because, as the legend goes, a friendly snowman named Frosty brought the market to life with his cheerful magic. The market, a winter wonderland of twinkling lights and colorful stalls, offered handmade crafts, sweets, and other holiday treats. As snowflakes danced gently down from the sky, everyone in town bundled up in cozy scarves and mittens and headed to this magical spot. Among the stalls, there was Aria, the artistic fairy with wings sparkling like icicles. Her stall was filled with dazzling ornaments crafted from stardust and moonbeams. Next door to Aria was Cookie, a jolly old man with a bushy white beard and twinkling blue eyes. Cookie's booth was a paradise of warm drinks and sweet treats. Every day, children gathered eagerly around Cookie's stall to sip on delicious hot chocolate topped with marshmallows. While they warmed their tiny hands around steaming mugs, Cookie would tell stories of Frosty. One chilly evening, as the market began to glow under the crescent moon, a young girl named Lily and her little brother Max were frantically searching for the perfect gift for their grandma. They weaved through the crowds, giggling at the funny hats and marveling at shimmering trinkets. Suddenly, they stopped at a mysterious wooden stall at the edge of the market, where an old lady sat quietly, spinning threads of golden light into wonderful scarves. Her eyes twinkled mysteriously as she handed Lily a scarf and whispered, "For every kind heart, there is a bit of magic." Lily and Max were in awe when they discovered that their grandparents' favorite holiday song was playing whenever the scarf was worn. Delighted with their luck, they quickly purchased the enchanted scarf. As Lily and Max were leaving the market, they caught a glimpse of Frosty, who had been watching over them all along, waving with a smile. His work was done for the day, spreading joy and making each visitor's heart a little warmer. And so, as the legend goes, every year Frosty's festive market opens, filled with magic, laughter, and the sweet sound of holiday cheer. Once upon a time, in the charming village of Maplewood, nestled amidst sprawling hills and meandering rivers, the villagers were bustling with excitement. It was the eve of the annual candlelit service, a beloved tradition that had been passed down through generations. As the sun dipped beneath the horizon, villagers began to make their way to the quaint little church at the heart of the village. Old cobblestone paths echoed underfoot as children skipped joyfully and elders walked with warm smiles and comforting lanterns in hand. At the church, Mrs. Beasley, with her rosy cheeks and gentle eyes, welcomed everyone with a basket of hand-dipped candles, each one uniquely decorated by the children of the village school. "Take a candle, light up the night and your hearts," she tenderly encouraged. As the church bell tolled, a gentle hush fell over the gathering crowd. The villagers took their seats on the rustic wooden pews, the flickering candlelight casting mesmerizing shadows on the ancient stone walls. The service commenced with the sweet sound of harmonized voices led by Mr. Tweedle, the village's jovial choirmaster. Hymns and carols filled the church, their melodies floating smoothly into the night air. Young Sally, with her silky voice, took the solo on Silent Night, and it was as if time stood still. There was laughter and joy as the villagers exchanged stories and sang heartily, clapping and tapping their feet in rhythm. Little Timmy, with his unruly curls, stood up, sharing a tender tale taught by his grandmother about hope and kindness. His innocent words had even the gruffest villagers wiping away a tear. As the service drew to a close, Reverend Dunbar offered a heartfelt prayer, and the villagers reflected on the year that had gone by. They silently prayed for strength, happiness, and unity in the one to come. The candles still aglow were brought outside, illuminating the little churchyard as the villagers mingled, sipped on warm cider, and nibbled on home-baked cookies brought by the ever-hospitable Baker twins. Under the starlit sky of Maplewood, with a gentle breeze brushing past, the evening ended with a renewed sense of togetherness and warmth. The villagers departed, holding cherished memories of another magical night. Looking forward to the joys and adventures the coming days promised, the villagers left, and as they did, the glow of their candles lingered behind, a beacon of the enduring spirit that binds the village of Maplewood as one. Once upon a time, in a cozy little town, children eagerly awaited the magical visit of Santa Claus. The night was crisp and full of wonder as stars twinkled brightly in the winter sky. Inside their snug homes, children placed cookies and milk by the fireplace, their eyes wide with excitement. Emma and her brother Max were among these eager children, whispering secrets and dreaming of what Santa might bring. "I wonder if Santa likes chocolate chip cookies?" Emma mused as she carefully arranged the treats on a bright red plate. "Of course he does. Who wouldn't?" Max replied, his cheeks rosy with anticipation. They both giggled, imagining Santa's jolly laughter echoing through the house. As the clock ticked closer to midnight, Emma and Max peeked out the window. Hoping to catch a glimpse of Santa's sleigh gliding across the moonlit sky, they watched with bated breath, but the sky held only the soft glow of the moon and the occasional star. "Do you think we'll see him, Max?" Emma asked, a hint of doubt in her voice. "Maybe if we believe hard enough," Max said confidently. "Santa is magic, after all." They squeezed each other's hands tightly, wishing with all their hearts. Just then, a gentle surprise filled the air, a delicate jingling sound, like tiny bells dancing on the wind. Emma and Max's eyes widened in wonder as they turned to see a faint spark fluttering by the window. "Look," Emma exclaimed, pointing at the enchantment. As if responding to their wishes, the spark grew brighter and brighter until it revealed a trail of shimmering stardust. Was it a sign of Santa's arrival? The siblings pressed their noses against the cold glass, marveling at the unexpected spectacle. Soon, sleepiness began to creep over them, but the excitement in their hearts kept them warm and full of delight. "Let's leave a note," Emma whispered, and together they wrote a heartfelt thank you to Santa, just in case. That night, as dreams danced in their heads, little did they know that Santa had indeed visited their home. He had enjoyed the cookies, chuckled at their sweet note, and left behind a sprinkle of stardust as a magical reminder of his visit. With the promise of Christmas magic fulfilled, Max and Emma awoke to a home filled with holiday cheer. The exciting presents left by Santa filled their hearts with joy and wonder. Once upon a time, in the little town of Hollyville, Christmas morning dawned with the extraordinary sight of fresh snow covering the town square. Families across town were waking up to the melodious sound of Christmas carols playing softly through the radio. Children sprang from their beds, their faces aglow with anticipation and eyes twinkling with excitement. In one cozy house on the corner of Maple Street, the Roberts family gathered in their living room, warmed by the crackling fireplace. The air was filled with the delightful scent of pine and freshly baked cinnamon cookies. Little Mia, with her curly pigtails bouncing with every step, dashed to the glowing Christmas tree. Her brother, Tommy, trailed behind her, holding tightly onto his favorite stuffed bear. The tree sparkled with colorful ornaments, and beneath it lay a heap of gifts wrapped in shimmering paper and ribbons of every color. Mia and Tommy's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Roberts, smiled as they watched their children survey the pile of presents with wide, curious eyes. "Go ahead, children," Mr. Roberts encouraged. "Let's see what surprises await you this year." With a gleeful squeal, Mia tore into a present to find a beautiful teddy bear wearing a red and green scarf, just like she wanted. Tommy, meanwhile, received a box full of building blocks, his favorite kind of toy. But the most surprising gift was yet to come. As the family unwrapped their gifts, they found a small, mysterious box at the back of the tree. None of them remembered placing it there. With a glance of curiosity exchanged between them, Mrs. Roberts gently unwrapped the box to reveal an ancient-looking snow globe with intricate details of a winter wonderland inside. As soon as Tommy shook it, something magical happened. Tiny snowflakes began whirling around them, and the family found themselves engulfed in an enchanted vision of a swirling winter village, complete with twinkling lights and cheerful laughter echoing around them. With wide eyes and laughter, the Roberts family realized they were experiencing the gift of joy that transcended any material possession. Through the magic of the snow globe, they saw the true spirit of Christmas, sharing love, joy, and wonder together, creating memories that would last a lifetime. And so, the day went on, filled with happiness, as the town of Hollyville celebrated the most memorable Christmas ever. Once upon a time, in the cozy village of Maryridge, everyone was buzzing with excitement as the biggest celebration of the year was about to unfold. The village square was adorned with twinkling fairy lights, and the air was filled with the scent of pine and spices. It was time for the annual grand dinner feast. Every family in Maryridge had been preparing for weeks. From grandparents to little children, everyone had a special task to ensure the feast was a magnificent success. The village baker, Mr. Crumble, had made the flakiest pies filled with apples and berries, while Mrs. Thistledown, the butcher, had roasted the most sumptuous dishes, glistening with herbs. As the sun set behind the hills, the villagers gathered in the big community hall, which was bursting with warmth and laughter. At the head of the grand dinner table sat Mayor Plumwhistle, who was always ready with a kind word and a hearty chuckle. The tables were laden with all kinds of delicious treats. Roasted turkeys, glistening with honey glaze, stood proudly next to bowls of buttery mashed potatoes and platters of golden brown rolls. Festive treats of every kind were scattered along the tables, from sugar-dusted cookies to melt-in-the-mouth caramel tarts. Families gathered around, with little ones climbing onto laps and grandparents keen to hear about everyone's year. Stories flew across the table as quickly as the servings of food. Neighbor Humphrey shared his comical mishap with his wayward sheep, while Granny Maple recounted the amusing antics of her mischievous cat who had scaled her Christmas tree. Glasses clinked as Mayor Plumwhistle stood up to propose a toast. To our wonderful Maryridge families, may the year ahead be filled with joy, laughter, and love, he announced with a smile, his eyes twinkling in the candlelight. As the villagers raised their glasses high, a feeling of contentment and togetherness enveloped the hall. They savored the delicious feast and cherished the precious moments with loved ones. In Maryridge, the grand dinner feast was not just about the food. It was a celebration of community, friendship, and the promise of another joyful year together. In a quaint little village nestled between snowy hills, the excitement of the holiday season was palpable. As twilight cast its gentle glow, families bundled up and made their way to the village square, where the tall evergreen tree stood adorned in glittering ornaments and twinkling lights. The air was filled with the smell of cinnamon and pine, a fragrance that danced around with the light, falling snowflakes. Emma, a lively girl with curly red hair and sparkling blue eyes, tugged at her woolly mittens, her breath visible in the cold air. She, along with her best friend Tommy, a curious boy with an infectious smile, had been waiting for this moment all year. "Come on, Tommy," Emma exclaimed, turning to her friend who was busy adjusting his woolen scarf. "We're going to miss the beginning." The town hall had been transformed into a festive cinema for the evening. Hay bales covered in thick blankets served as seats, and a large white sheet acted as the screen. Villagers, young and old, cozied up with mugs of hot cocoa and bowls of popcorn. They were eager to watch the classic Christmas movie, The Snowman's Journey. Emma and Tommy settled in, their eyes wide with wonder, as the movie began. The familiar tale of friendship and adventure unfolded on the screen, capturing the hearts of everyone present. Laughter and awe echoed through the square, as even the adults momentarily drifted back to the magical days of their childhoods. As the movie concluded, everyone remained seated, basking in the warmth of the shared experience. Emma, feeling inspired by the story, suggested, "Let's sing some carols." Her enthusiasm was contagious, and soon the entire square was alive with melodious voices, singing Jingle Bells and Silent Night under the starlit canopy. The fires crackled gently, casting a soft, golden glow across the faces of all present, and the village sparkled with the glow of happiness. As the evening wound down and families began to drift back to their homes, the echoes of laughter and song lingered. It was the perfect ending to a magical holiday night, one that would be remembered by the villagers for years to come. And as Emma and Tommy headed back home, planning their next adventure, they knew that their friendship, just like the holiday magic, was special and enduring.